to get good contact on the ball for the cut shot.
Tough serve, but it's pulled out of the net. Ooh, some butter from Zana. What a recovery. I'm not sure what was more impressive in that rally, Dane.
Yeah, Zana Muno has some spectacular hands right there. Putting the ball up. Here it rolls out of the net. Sponcil with nice control, but here's the set. Back set by Muno in the perfect location. And then Sponcil digs it once again.
Brandy slapping that down the line. Brandy also an Olympian in her own right. Playing in Tokyo. Alongside Heather Bansley, finishing with a 5th. Now playing alongside Sophie Bukovic, who is somewhere on site.
Yeah, we've seen
Coaching her up.
Sophie. We've seen her around. We saw her in Fort Lauderdale. Seen her here. She's just enjoying herself, not playing, but getting ready, the both of them, to get on a flight tonight to go to Hamburg, Germany, to play in the next elite event on the FIVB circuit.
You can see the weather here in Atlanta. It's kind of been the story of the weekend. It's a little bit different than what we've had. Only 84 yesterday, and as well as Friday. Heat index was about 100 degrees. The humidity, though, yeah, that's up there.
Yeah, it's about 10 degrees cooler down on the court for sure than the last couple of days.
Nice cushion, like a pillow with Sarah Sponcil. And another good dig. Poking up, quick feet. An incredible rally on both sides. That one going the way of Muno and Wilkerson.
That's a difficult play for Brandy Wilkerson, having to wait for that ball to cross her body for her to go down the line. Take a look at it here. Sponcil comes in. Brandy playing it with spectacular rally on both sides of the net, but that line shot at the end was just pinpoint perfect.
Therese, quick arm.
Pushing one through the block is Therese Cannon. Sponcil, serving 8.
Keeping things close here. 8-9 on the other side of the bracket, the women's semifinal. You also have Hughes and Kalinsky versus Scholes and Urango. Nice touch off the block. And a missed contact.
Yeah, real nice soft block right there. You have to convert situations like that. Zana just missed that one a little bit long.
Perfect set, and it's just wide.
That's
Zana not convinced.
Really tough decision right there. Sponcil makes the right decision and lets that ball go. She was actually in position to make the dig, so great wherewithal of knowing where that sideline was.
Sponcil with an open net. And both went for it, ultimately resulting in the ball falling on Muno and Wilkerson.
Some spectacular defense by Sponcil and then converting right there, going at the retreating blocker.
11-10 now into the technical timeout, keeping things nice and tight. This is the first women's semifinal.
Technical timeout at 10-11 lead. 1-point lead for Taylor and Sponcil.
So Sarah Sponcil has quite an arm on the beach volleyball court, but did you know she also has it from the mound? Let's take a look. Sarah Sponcil having a little fun with the Atlanta Braves this week. Dane, you ever get to throw out a first pitch?
I have not thrown out a first pitch. How cool is this?
I know she was practicing this week. She was out on the sand, making sure she's got the right distance. Is it a strike?
Wow.
That's not bad.
It's not bad at all. But
look, go ahead.
you know, you really you don't expect anything less. She is a spectacular athlete. You could plug her into any sport and she's going to be fantastic.
You know, win the World Series, then you're an Olympian. I feel like those things just mesh really well together. Sarah Sponcil having some fun. It was fun to see Therese Cannon out there too, supporting her teammate. Supporting her as we speak, as well as you see your women's champions for 2022 highlighted is Therese Cannon and Sarah Sponcil as they won back in Hermosa Beach. Fort Lauderdale was a little bit of a different story, looking to recover from that. Brandy Wilkerson, though, ball in hand and still looking for her first title on the AVP Tour.
Cameron, I was thinking of all the different sports. Remember when Sarah Sponcil had that video on a unicycle?
Yes!
She can do it all.
That's a flashback. I totally forgot about that.
She can do it all. She was 3-time state volleyball champion in Arizona and was the Gatorade Player of the Year. So, like I said, you could plug her in anywhere. And let's not forget, I think it's 60 feet, the mound.
Yeah.
It's not easy. Most people short hop it, right?
Or veer left or right. Give it a rainbow shot. She was dialed. 16 teams, both on the men's and women's side here in Atlanta. This double elimination Gold Series event. More points, more money. Nice snap by Zana Muno.
I think Sponcil's shifting into the line just slightly too early. Zana Muno is seeing that, detecting that, and then going the opposite direction.
What a pretty shot.
Off the hands for the put away, 14-12.
It's a great set right there by Therese Cannon. Played her freshman year at Georgetown indoor before transferring to USC to play with the beach program. And as we said before, ended up winning 2 national championships. That's a high shot.
And again, it's Brandy with that flat ball high over the top of the block. She gets so high, she doesn't even have to worry about putting some loft on that. 14-13. That's tough coming out of the middle, Dane.
Yeah, and that's by design right there, to come out of the middle. What that does is it gives you different angles of approach and your offense, and it gives the defender a lot more to think about.
Speaking of lots to think about, here is your road to the finals. You can see women's semifinals are now set with Cannon, Sponcil, Muno, Wilkerson out on Stadium Court. You've got Scholes and Urango versus Hughes and Kalinsky as well. The only team in the top 4 seeds, Hughes and Kalinsky, without a title. Could this be the one?
Could this be the one for Brandy Wilkerson as well, right? You
True.
think that she would have won an AVP event so far. She's just a spectacular player. She's finished second 3 times, so knocking on that door is Brandy Wilkerson, and there's been a lot of firsts this year.
Oh, Sponcil pulls out the hands on the first contact. What a read block from Brandy Wilkerson.
Quite a rally right there. You mentioned it, Cameron, the free ball. You don't see many players take a free ball overhand, but Sarah Sponcil has such great hand and such great command. Look at it. She tees up Therese Cannon And then Brandy Wilkerson stays up at the net. Look at that lateral movement as a blocker, pressing at just the right time.
Working with a back set. A lot can go well when you got a setter like Sarah Sponcil out on the court. Sponcil and Cannon currently hitting .429. Nice snap, the hands are pulled back out.
Really love what I'm seeing, the aggressiveness from Brandy Wilkerson, hitting that ball from about 12 feet off and putting Sponcil and Cannon in a tough situation.
What a grab, oh. Zana's getting her hand on everything though.
She really is, and she's going to clean off the sand right here. Zana goes for every single ball, and that puts a lot of pressure on the offensive player to get it down. You just don't see her watching. Many balls just hit the sand. She's going to pursue every one.
(17-16) now. Brandy taking the middle. Full layout. It's the second great overhead pokey we've seen. Brandy pulling, making plays.
Yeah, I think Brandy's playing some of the best volleyball I've seen her play. Very in control, dropping right there with a pokey dig. And then she's keeping the ball in front of her, gathering, and she's coming hard every time. So you don't know if she's going to bring it or shoot it.
Looking for the jumbo.
Was just enough, just out of reach for Zana Muno.
18-17. Here's a look at the jumbo.
Not every player has the jumbo. There you see Sponsil sees the defense in the angle and says, I got to go to that deep corner. She would have liked it a couple feet deeper, but she'll take it a point nonetheless.
Not a time you want to miss a serve, and Sponcil knows it. It's all over her face. Nice hands from Cannon. Out of the middle. And that's the first one I think we've seen Brandy not be able to pick up.
Very intense rallies right now, bringing it at one another, challenging, really high-level play. Not a lot of errors. That's what you like to see, especially here in a semifinal. But you're right, Brandy has dropped at the right time, but couldn't get that one up.
So at 18-19, Muno and Wilkerson going to slow things down, get underneath the umbrella, and have a conversation. Cannon and Sponcil working with Scott Davenport under their umbrella. You look at some numbers from Brandy Wilkerson. 467 in terms of her efficiency, 8 kills. And you said not a whole lot of errors, and that's showing up right there.
Yeah, and 4 digs for Wilkerson.
Yeah,
and
great
that's
call.
Why is that special? I mean, she's the full-time blocker, but what she's doing, she's dropping off the net, and she's making some really great plays so far.
No, that's a great call by you. Those pulling digs from Brandy Wilkerson giving multiple opportunities, and right now they trail by just 1, and a side out for the tie is right around the corner. So fun having our fans returning, especially after last night's weather delay.
Put your hands together for Zana, Brandy, Therese, and Sarah coming out of the timeout.
Oh, I can't believe she left that. It was the right call, but
yeah, I see that so much. Leaving those close ones. Got to play those close ones. Imagine if that was an ace. That would have been devastating.
19-all. Quick turn from Wilkerson. And just like that, out of the timeout, it's now set point. Back-to-back points for Muno and Wilkerson.
Brandy just knows when to go over, when to set the ball, making all the right choices so far.
Through the block, and we're tied.
20-20, we're going into overtime here in set number 1. Got to win by 2.
Scholes, Urango, Hughes, and Kalinsky in action as well. Still in first set there. Chance for the lead again. The lefty's out. Tight ball.
Go, go, go.
What an angle. I think there might have been a net violation in there somewhere too.
Someone got away with one there, but nonetheless, 21st point for Muno and Wilkerson. Beautiful cross court. Brandy making great decisions. Muno playing unbelievable defense.
KG. What? Pulling out the set, the option with facing a set point.
Not a lot of players will pull that off. We've seen her take the over pass with her hands as a setter, and that time turning, facing, going over with somewhat of a dump play as a setter. Remember, she played setter at UCLA.
She's played just about every position. Wilkerson. Good touch, tight. And she goes with the Hulk smash.
Touch, touch.
It's gotta go. Another chance. Again, the hands out. And misses it just long. Good things happen when you hustle. Zana Muno.
Another beautiful rally on both sides. Look at Muno sacrificing her body and then overset again, taken with the hands, the overpass taken with the hands, and Sponcil putting on kind of a setting clinic.
Currently facing another set point. Set tight and played back.
Zana Muno ends up into the net there, a little sportsmanship. I think there was some contact with Therese Cannon. Another solid dig, and I like the fact that Brandy's risking it, throwing up on top of the net. That might have been a little low and a little fast to the net, but I'd rather see that than 10 feet off.
22-all. Oh, that was beautifully done. The pass maybe not exactly where they wanted it, but a great set from Brandy. And what a shot from Muno. 7 total digs now from Muno.
Switch.
Set inside. Some footwork.
And almost like a changeup right there. Zana was in that cross court waiting for some heat, and Therese Cannon, that's one of the parts of her game that had improved so much, the finesse, the control of those short shots.
Oh, that's a gnarly serve. Tight. And And again, Zana, you gotta love the way she is just churning those feet through the sand. She's about a half a step away from grabbing that one.
You can tell the defenders that are just going for it every time. She's got sand all over her body, sacrificing on every play, not making any decision whether she can get it or not, just pursuing.
Set point for Cannon and Sponcil now. It's going back and forth. Nice roll up. Sponcil for the set. Muno again. No way. Dane, you just talked about the defenders that are the next level. Muno and Sponcil on full display in that rally.
Yeah, they're on fire right now, and it's so fun, the effort level, and they're getting to a lot of these balls that you don't even think that are possible, and making some really, really creative and fun plays.
And this is at 24 apiece where, yeah, both defenders going to take an extra second here, not only catch their breath, but, yes, currently get all of the sand off of their body. Might be here a while. Look back at this rally.
Yeah, check this out. It's the Sky Vodka rally of the day, and it goes back and forth. Sponcil with a nice hit, and Zana takes it in stride. And then look at the cover by Cannon, and then I don't know how Sponcil got it back over the net. And then how about the little poke shot on one?
Oh, that's tough. She's got to turn nearly 360 degrees to try and grab that. 25-24.
Yeah, she's usually good like that.
Yeah, very
I think
dynamic.
that's the first time that she's made an error hitting that ball from about 8 feet off the net, and so keep going for it.
She might be one of the top in terms of taking swings from off the net. Like, very, very elite at that skill.
Yeah, Wilkerson just a real dynamic athlete, a little unorthodox with some of her serving technique as she throws it as she's jumping. And remember, she's lefty too. Lefties are sometimes a little harder to read.
25-24. Short serve, they're in trouble. Right hand slapped over. Sponcil finds the sand, and Cannon and Sponcil find the first set.
Well played on both sides of the net, and just a couple of plays, the difference in this first set. Wow, it's fun watching Sponcil and Zana go back to back.
So fun watching these defenders go head to head, 26-24. We went overtime. Let's get to set number 2. The AVP is brought to you by Monster Hydro, hard charging hydration. By Waikea Hawaiian Volcanic Water, sustainably sourced and naturally alkaline. Live Aloha, drink Waikea. By Fabletics, premium performance apparel that won't break the bank. And by TNNS, building a better future for sports. Buy your TNNS tokens on Bitmart now and join the crypto revolution.
At Corner Bakery, we're making your choice simple with choose 2 options every day. Choose 2 of your favorites and turn a simple lunch into a perfectly paired meal. And we're not talking about a few choose 2 options. Pair up any sandwich or panini, any cafe fresh salad or warm simmering soup, or any pan sauteed pasta. So many kitchen crafted options, so little time. Your perfect choose 2 combination is waiting at the Corner Bakery.
Dear mainland, aloha. My brother and I hear that most of you only disable your phones when you fly. You call it airplane mode. But maybe you don't have to get on a plane to get away, yeah? Allow my brother to demonstrate. You know what we call this? Kona mode. One life, right? Mahalo. Longboard Island Lager and Big Wave Golden Ale from Kona Brewing.
Those radio gym shorts that you have from college, they're done. Get them out of here. It's time to upgrade your short game with the one from Fabletics, man.
We love them. Your girlfriend will be stealing these. They're the best.
This fabric fixes another major issue, fit.
It's got this crazy stretch to it that looks so cute when I do my yoga or errands or like literally anything. They're the most comfortable, best feeling, luxe-tastic fabric that we have ever worn.
It's the choices we make that define us.
Tryon Trevor's coming off a tough, heartbreaking loss.
And ultimately, the enemy is within. Some people want it, some wish for it, but others make it happen.
Tryon Trevor's super lethal, bringing fire and passion to the court.
How will you take charge?
26-24 was set number 1 in semifinal on the women's side for Cannon Sponcil versus Muno and Wilkerson. Here's a look at your set 1 stats. Cameron Irwin alongside Dane Blanton, and nearly identical as you go down these two.
Yeah, very close. You just see a slight edge in terms of efficiency on the hitting of Cannon and Sponcil, but other than that, 1 block apiece, 1 ace apiece, and I think, you know, this is one of those matches when you get to a semifinal with 2 great teams, you're going to see possibly a 3rd set. It's going to go into overtime a lot of these sets because they're so evenly matched.
Yeah, a lot of execution on display, and it's interesting, both teams 16 kills apiece. But in terms of separation, Sponcil, 6 kills. Muno, 6 kills. Wilkerson, 10 kills. Cannon, 10 kills. Nearly identical in multiple regards. Second set, let's get to it. The flipper. And Therese saves it. 2 in 1. Sponcil is doing everything in her willpower to keep the ball off the sand right now.
And you have to, because Cameron, what you talked about, everything equal, right? All the stats are equal. You don't know when that big play is going to happen that's going to be the difference of a victory in a set. We saw how close the first set is, and these girls are going for every single ball, as they should.
Great touch from Zana Muno. This is just a defensive clinic. This is fun to watch.
So hard for the ball to hit the sand when you have Sponcil and Muno out there. Very stingy with their points.
13 digs for Sponcil, 11 for Muno now. Great set. Maybe not. Maybe you got to give a little extra space against Wilkerson.
Therese Cannon would love to have that shot back. She's had a couple shots long, about 6 inches long, and you got to just keep it in, give yourself another opportunity because she's such a good blocker.
On 1, on the line.
Zana tried to go over on 1 a few plays ago, and it came off a little too high. That one executed perfectly. Very intentional on exactly where she wanted to go, right down the line on 1. Not a lot of players have that in their repertoire.
Ooh, look at you pulling out the big words on Sunday. I like that.
Hey, let's go. Great spot.
Cannon and Sponcil find themselves on the board now.
Cannon and Sponcil here in set number 2, and a hot start for Muno and Wilkerson.
No team on the men's or women's side has won more than 1 title on the 2022 AVP Tour.
Line. Yep. Brandy.
Cannon and Sponcil have a shot to do that if they pick up the win. Only Phil Dahlhauser has 2 titles with 2 different partners this season.
Yeah, and that ball out of bounds. Yeah, you're absolutely right, Cameron. The only team that could repeat this year would be Sponcil and Cannon. The other 3 teams in the semifinals haven't won, so chances are we could get another new winner. Of course, unless Sponcil and Cannon turn it up. There's a look at the women's champions this year. And Therese Cannon and Sarah Sponcil winning the big one in Hermosa Beach.
Well, in the last 2 tournaments, we've had first-time winners on the women's side as Sarah Sponcil finds an ace. There's a few opportunities for that as well. Zana currently looking to make it to her first final. She's had 3 third-place finishes in her career on tour.
I've seen that happen a couple times. Zana Muno absolutely freezing Sponcil. Sponcil's waiting for that roll shot right to her in the angle, and then she takes a little bit off of it and makes it just a little bit sharper. It's not easy to fool Sarah Sponcil. I don't know. What do you think of that? The intentional over on 1? Does she go to the well a little too much on that, or is that?
You know, it's interesting because I haven't seen her do it as often as she is in this match. Have you? I think this is something she feels like maybe she sees something in the deep corner, or she's gotten 1, but I think she wants that one back. You could see it.
Yeah.
6-5 now. The gap has been closed. Pushing that ball, rolling it up to the net is Muno.
Real great set by Muno right there. The chemistry between Muno and Wilkerson is really nice. They seem like they have a great feel for one another, where they're going to be, and the position of some of the sets. They look very comfortable.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Them playing in their 3rd AVP together. They played in Fort Lauderdale just a week ago, finishing with a 5th, as well as New Orleans. Also a 5th there. Check down in the middle of her play right there. Brandy Wilkerson's eyes dropped to the other side.
Yeah, just an athlete, though. That short serve was tough. It was mistimed a little bit, and she got it up in the air. Nice roll shot to the corner.
There's a look at some numbers for Wilkerson and Muno. Total number of jumps that they have taken, as well as the block jumps, and their highest at the bottom. Brandy having a phenomenal match to this point, as is Zana Muno defensively. Another touch there from Wilkerson. Oh, and that hurts your heart. That's always the worst, isn't it?
It's a big break for Cannon and Sponcil right there, because Zana was all over that. She treated it as a free ball, and she was getting ready to come and attack that ball. So net violation, costly.
Nothing worse than getting a nice dig and a net violation gets blown.
Stop the corner, your time.
8-all now. Cannon and Sponcil have steadied themselves.
Yeah, Wilkerson and Muno started off on fire 4-1, but they've given it all back. All tied at 8.
Muno. Nice read. She's got to get out of the sand and back up again. You heard the call from Muno in the backcourt. She couldn't get to the net. Nice execution on both sides, and looked like Wilkerson was actually aiming for the hands of Therese there, trying to swipe.
Well, it was the right play, trying to go down the line as we look at this. Therese Cannon doing a great job blocking, turning, and getting off the net. There's Zana sacrificing, and this hit is the right choice to go down the line. She just kind of cuffed it a little too sharp of an angle and out of bounds.
9-all. Wilkerson playing in over 100 tournaments now. She hit that 100 mark.
Not mad at that serve. Keep it aggressive like that. Keep going for that back line with that nice jump float. It was very effective in the first set. She hasn't really got it going yet here in the second, but you keep going for it.
Ball is out of bounds, but you talked about the chemistry, and you saw it right there. Brandy looked at Muno and said, hey, way to go for it right there, giving her some nice high fives. It's not a bad error, right?
It's not. When you're going for it, you're going to miss a couple. But right now, Therese and Sponcil putting all sorts of pressure. Oh, Therese almost with the sell of the no touch, and line judge called her on it, and she had a little bit of a smile on her face after that. This ball's hit so hard, it's difficult to tell if there is a touch or not. But by Therese's reaction, I believe she was guilty.
11-10 into the technical timeout. Take a look now at your set 2 stats. But first, here's Sponcil and Cannon. A little bit of a journey for them, as they've been rather efficient in this tournament, having taken down Turner and Van Winden first round, 21-13, 21-19. And then they faced Day and Simo, another 2-set victory. And then it was against Cloth and Nuss to find themselves here in the semifinal.
And that match against Cloth and Nuss, 28-16, that was in that modified 1-set scoring, which we had to do because of not only rain delays on Friday evening of 2.5 hours, we also had the lightning and rain delay in the afternoon yesterday, which shut everything down really early. Players had to come back early this morning, play 1 set to 28. Some players liked it, some didn't.
Yeah, I know. Well, it was interesting too, because it was about 8:30 last night. As you see the set 2 stats on screen, you can look through those. But it was interesting because they did meet with athletes, figure out what was the best method moving forward. So there was definitely a lot of communication between the AVP staff as well as the athletes to figure out what they were going to do moving forward. And ultimately those 1 game to 28 is what it resulted in, as we now hit the semifinals, where the rest of the day will be played 2 out of 3 like normal. But I kind of like it. I mean, obviously we don't want to see it have to turn into that, but in terms of changing a format and having to figure out, like, it's sudden death, right? Like, you don't get a second chance.
Yeah, you can't start off slow, right?
No.
You have 1 set. That's the beauty of 2 out of 3. You can start slow, you know, and you can have that next set to come.
A little more room for grace.
Yeah. I think they did a great job to get us back on schedule or regular scoring once again here in the men's and women's semifinals and finals.
Yeah, some things just out of your control, right? 12-10 now.
What do you mean? You don't control the weather?
I do not. I wish I could. There's a look at Therese's numbers. 14 kills, 30 attacks, hitting .333. Quick hands, Sponcil. Dig and convert. Sponsil is on fire.
I love when Sponcil brings that out. It's that heat down the line. You don't see it very often. She loves to slice and dice, but every once in a while she'll challenge a blocker and just go for it. And that was the time, and great timing for it.
I also like the lack, and I mean this very positively, the lack of celebration as you see the 15 digs from Sponcil, but she's just so stoic. Like, yeah, that should be expected. I make plays.
You're claiming she's like, that's what I do.
That's just what I do. Muno and Wilkerson. Backs against the wall a little bit here. Trail by 2 as well as down a set.
Off the block, 14-11.
I would have got that for you.
Jumbo, but just off the shoulder of Sarah Sponcil. She wanted to match it.
I love how we could hear Therese saying, you know, good idea, good idea. It was the right idea. You know, that's the evolution of being a volleyball player, knowing the right shot and then actually executing it. And when you know the right shot, you know, that's more than half the battle.
Missed that just wide, 15-12 now. Both these teams have been pretty flawless in terms of execution. Just a few extra errors on the side of Muno and Wilkerson now. That serve of Cannons is tough. Pulling that ball back inside the court, potentially out of bounds, but they recover it anyways.
What I like about that play, it looked like Muno was going to let that ball fall. Wilkerson said, little too close, let me pass that, let's control our own destiny, and she put a nice shot into the corner.
Yeah, you definitely have to like that. Don't leave it up to chance, especially on a scramble play like that, 13-15. Other women's semifinal, still in second set action. That's Scholes, Urango, Hughes, and Kolinsky. Looks like Gadic is a little tripped up there. Muno was in a good posture and position, but I think it got on her a little quicker than she expected.
Well, I think she was ready for the ball hit cleanly at her, and it kind of ricocheted off of Brandy's arm, and that's what threw her off.
Short serve, we've seen it utilized a lot, especially this weekend. See, that's the stuff I'm talking about. Just like open net, maybe a little bit out of system, but Brandy's still finding a way.
Yeah, she was. She passed that short ball a little bit back, but was able to go at the retreating blocker, and Therese Cannon was not set.
She's always so aggressive on those out of systems. Doesn't try to get too cute with it. Push set. They like running that ball as well.
Yeah, what makes Therese Cannon so dangerous on the left, she can hit the line corner and she has a cut. So as a defender, you can play in the middle or you got to pick one.
Double contact called. And that's Sarah Sponsil with some noise right there.
Yeah, that was a tight call, I thought, but Zana did not argue at all. She just said, agreed with it, and it's going to put it in a rear view mirror.
The misses we've seen from Therese have been within 6 inches of the back line.
That's what you want to do, and you don't want to miss balls into the net. You want to miss them deep so that the opposition has an opportunity to pass it, even if it's out.
That would be 8 ball in the corner pocket. or make it 19th ball.
Sarah Sponcil starting to feel it. Look at a little fist pump right there. You usually don't get a lot out of her.
No, in the last few.
She's starting to feel it. She's starting to feel it. She senses she's just a couple points away from the final.
Cannon trying to hang her hands over the top of the net. Gets a touch, but not as much of a redirect as she would hope for. Wilkerson and Muno still smiling as they pass the ref stand.
Zana Muno has been so impressive defensively, and she's kind of from an athletic family. Her dad, Lawrence, played football. Her mom, Kimberly, former golfer. Got a brother that got drafted into the major leagues. And
I was going to say, I think there's also cousins elsewhere that have played professional baseball.
She got it in her blood.
Family tree just branches everywhere as that ball's missed wide. Taking the extra slow walk at the back line is Muno. Defense is now the priority.
So good, T.
Wow,
Deadly from the right side, too.
Match point 2017 for Sarah
26-24 in set number 1. Right now it's 20-17, which brings us to match ball for Cannon and Sponcil. And they're going to slow it down yet again. Muno and Wilkerson need to find a little something right now. They face about 3 potential set points, 4. They want a shot back at it. Cameron Irwin alongside Dane Blanton. And here is a look at who they will be facing off against. Scholes and Urango picking up the semifinal victory over Hughes and Kalinsky in just 2 sets played. So the number 7 seed is going back to back in terms of trips to the final. Last weekend in Fort Lauderdale and now here in Atlanta.
I'll tell you what, that is surprising to me because of the condition Julia Scholes was in last week from the heat. Got a little sick during the finals. I believe almost kind of carried off the court, and so for her to rebound just a week later is really impressive. To go back-to-back finals in 2 tournaments that had to be the hottest and most challenging from a physical endurance standpoint.
Yeah, without a doubt, you got to be able to play in the heat back-to-back weekends. The attrition you can only imagine in terms of what these athletes had to do for recovery. And right now, Cannon and Sponcil are looking to face Scholes and Urango if they can find one ball. Ball is out of bounds, and there it is. Cannon and Sponcil 21-17. Sponcil going back-to-back in terms of her time here in Atlanta, heading to the finals yet again.
Yeah, and she's got her game face on. Sarah Sponcil, very stoic today. We saw a little emotion in the end, but very little. She's all about business. She would love to get to the top of the podium again and win yet another tournament. She'd love to become the first 2-time winner as a team in this 2022 season.
I think she's got some unfinished business here in Atlanta. She wants this place. Facing off again against Scholes and Urango. A great tournament, though, from Brandy Wilkerson as well as Zana Muno. Her first title will still have to wait, as will Muno's first trip to the finals, but we loved what we saw from them all weekend long, Dane.
Really did. Their athleticism, their intensity that they came out, and it was surprising to me. I thought that second set they were going to come out on fire and run it all the way to the end and force a third, but you got to give that credit to Sponcil and Therese, who, the word that comes to mind is discipline. They really stayed in control with their game plan. They executed, didn't try to do too much, and really let any errors just kind of go by and focused on that next point. So they are locked in as they'll face Urango and Skulls in the final.
It's going to be fun to watch the defense on display yet again. Sarah Sponcil back out on the sand. That defense of Gina Urango, woo, she's been doing some work in the last few weeks as you take a look at the match stats. From 1 versus 6 sets won there. You can see the distance they traveled highlighted at the bottom of your screen, as well as the total number of jumps they took here in the heat and the sand in Atlanta. All right, thanks so much for joining us for women's semifinal action. For myself and Dave Blanton, we'll be right back after this to get to the guys.
Thank you.